again to a new LeaveBoard video. This time we will discuss about the easy to use employee leave management system. Let's dig into it. So what employees need? They need practically three things. Simple tools to book, manage, track leave of absence, eliminate inefficient procedures, and facilitate transparency within the business. This is super clear. Small and medium businesses worldwide need such tools to be more efficient in their day-to-day operations. Why they don't have it yet? Because they are reliant on spreadsheets, on Excel file. They use traditional means for planning, communication, reporting. They have old management practices, which includes paper and a lot of manual handling. How does an employee leave management system helps small to medium businesses? Well, they will see more productivity, they will see better transparency, and they will be able to make better decisions. And for this, LeaveBoard helps with the set of tools which are presented into this slide. So a planner, a tracker, a request form which is dynamic, a portal which every employee will have a username and a password, or can single sign on with Slack, Google, or Office 365, a calendar which is dynamically generated, a dashboard, a manager for approving, declining requests, reporting, functionalities for people dealing with payroll and HR management, and a ton of automation. So what changes with such a modern tool once it's implemented? Well, automated workflows, rules and procedures, transparency within the attendance, a streamline leave of absence report. So every time a request is it's being submitted in the system through the form. An email is sent to the manager according to the approval workflow. Then the request is saved in the database, the allowance is updated, and for sure the employee knows when he or she used their days and how many days they still have available until the end of the year. Well, that was easy. Now the interesting part. So let's see exactly how a leave management system works, and for this we will do a hands-on presentation with LeaveBoard. Board website, which probably you know already. I will not scroll through it any longer. I will just log into the application and then go to the main features and functionalities, and later on I will discuss about pricing and the implementation steps. So let's start. In the login page you see we have integration with Google, Office 365, Slack, so these are single sign-on methods. You just click here and the system authenticates that you are you, or default email and password. We have the possibility to use the application in other languages besides English, and I will just log in with Google because it saves me time, and once I'm logged in, what we will see here is exactly the administrator dashboard. In the administrator dashboard we have several cards. For example, in this one we can see what exactly has happened in the last month. We see exactly who is in absence, which ones have vacations, which ones have sick leave, if there are any kind of public holidays entered, and who is on sick, who is working from home, and there is a nice, thing over here. We see a small difference between pending approval. The entries are a little bit lighter than the approved ones, and then we can also book half days entries as we have over here. The other nice things is that we can customize the weekends. So there are some people which, for example, don't work on Fridays, and there are others like have the weekend on Friday and Saturday. That's super easily configurable, and the system permits to create as many teams or as many offices or departments as needed, and this allows for, easier perspective about who will be off and when. And this is super nice, super clear. Work anniversaries and upcoming birthdays help us with the company culture. I will go more in detail about them in a second. The balance of time off. So for each employee, we see how many days of annual leave they have. And for example, in my case, I have 42 days. I have booked already 25, so the difference is 17, which is still available until the end of the year. But we have the same, information for all types of leaves which we have in the system. We can configure the public holidays and events for all the employees as needed. My next leaves based on what are the entries which I have submitted in the system. They will be shown over here, and because I'm a manager, I see pending approval requests. So as an employee, I can book as many types of time off as I want. In this case, I will do, for example, vacation, some days, and you see here as I look into the calendar, it already highlights with um, green when are the dates which I have already booked, with this light blue public holidays, with red sick leave, or with the pink work from home. So it's super nice. And once I submit, for example, a specific request, the system calculates automatically how many days I have requested. From my 17 days of vacation allowance which I have available, minus 3 equals 14. And the nice thing is, if we try to book, for example, during the weekend some days, the system will eliminate the weekend, will eliminate the public holidays if we have some. And once we submit, for example, the request, then the manager will get email notification, and the entry will be added to my next leaves. You see it here, so it's 19 and 22 of August. If we go to the calendar for myself, you see it over here. And if we go to the employee profile to my leaves, you see that it's pending approval from the manager. Every type of time off in the book time off form has some kind of rules and validations and policies. You saw there that the comment was mandatory. Here also we can put a backup field, and um, if, for example, we're an office manager and we know, for example, someone is off sick, we can submit the request on behalf for that particular employee, um, and um, and add it into the database. And how to say, in this way, everyone will be um, ensured that they know who it's off and when, and they have a log for that particular absence. If we look into the pending approval request, so I'm an approver for these people. So in this case, Tom Smith has submitted a vacation request for 4 days in the month of August. I can approve or decline. So we see Tom Smith the request for this, the reasoning, and who else is absent in the same day. I see also there my entry, which I have added over here and create some kind of like conflict, but it's super fine. And I just wanted to show something. So this is right now pending approval, and after I just approve it, okay, have fun. Um, Let me just show you. Yes, you see here it's now approved. And if we go to employees, Tom Smith, to his leaves, so as a approver or as an administrator, we have the possibility to see the entries for all the um, employees, and if needed, we can cancel those requests. The other interesting thing which the system offers is the possibility to uh, plan leaves using the 365 or the annual leave planner. And here we can see exactly all the public holidays with this light blue. We can see when we have booked work from home or vacations. And if it would be me, for example, I will book these 3 days so that I take 19 to 27, so that's 9 days of vacation by having been booked only 2, which is nice. The next section is my leaves. So here I have a perspective of the upcoming leave requests, but also the past ones. As an employee for the upcoming, I can cancel them, no problem. And for example, if a manager does not reply to my request, I can just submit a email reminder without no problem. Just to mention one more time that with each request, the system automatically sends a notification. In the leaves to approve, I have already approved the request from Tom Smith. Then the employee tab has the employee directory, and it's organized super easily so that you have access to all the employee information. You see the employee approval workflows and know where to make any modifications if needed. You have access to the roles or positions to the employees, and you can structure the colleagues, the workers in teams and offices, which creates the possibility to, check who it's part of a specific team or of a specific office super easily, and if needed, to make the desired modifications. When we go to the employee profile, of course, we can change the position, we can change the team, we can change the approver, we can change, the office, we can change the permissions or the access to various functionalities of the system. We can change, the employment date, and working hours and working days. And this, you know, changes will practically be saved and will be reflected within the system. On the leave section, we have all the entries which the employee has booked. The same with the 365 days calendar. Then we have the information which the employee sees in his or her dashboard, and the personal details like a birthday, and the system calculates automatically the age, and the same here with the service length. And if you're in UK, we can add the um, emergency contact details. The allowances tab is super nice because it permits to customize the employee allowance. So if an employee, let's say, gets 2 days more than the default, we can customize it from here. Or if the employees, let's say, work during the weekends, we can add 2 more days from this tab. So the difference between 2022 allowance and the employee allowance is the contractual amount, while the 2022 allowance is the amount which the employee gets only for this year. And it happens like if an employee is recruited at the middle of the year, for sure it will not get the full amount. It will get only half. So we can make also negative adjustments, and those adjustments will be seen over here. The system also permits to carry over from previous years, so that's a neat extra option. But we have the possibility to customize the other um, allowances for the other types of leaves, and each employee will have such a profile. And if you have like more than 40-50 employees, to search for someone, it's super easy. The same with inviting a new employee. Just email, first name, last name, employment date, and clicking invite, the employee gets a new email, and the profile is being created, and you forget about spreadsheets and everything else. If you untoggle the send invitation email, the employee profile will be created in the system, everything can be modified, and afterwards the employee can get a new invitation. I will show you how to do this. So here we see the employees which have just received or have just created their profiles in the system, and when we're ready we can just re-invite the employee. So in this case the employee gets a new or the first invitation email. There is one more thing with invitation of a new employee form. We have this employment date, and from the leave policies we can allow the proration of the employee vacation allowance based on the employment date. So if, let's say, you have 20 days per year, and if you hire that employee on 1st of July 2000 1st of July that specific year, the employee will get only 10 days rather than 20. So that is proration. Coming back to the employee database, we have the possibility to create as many teams as needed. If we want to add more employees to a particular team, it's super straightforward. We can create offices as well. Offices practically departments, and they allow us to set up the public holidays. We have practically a large database of public holidays from different parts of the world. We can set up blockout days. We can add more members super easily, and all these people will have associated the public holidays from this office into their calendar. Then we have for the employee the HR analytics, in which we can see the headcount, the average age, the tenure, and for sure we can see those informations for a particular team. And there are these two additional tabs. So the age of the employee, which might be important for generating some documents, and to know when exactly the next birthday is coming so that we can plan for a cool celebration, a cool party. And pretty much the same thing, we have the possibility to filter by service length, and we see that for example, Judy is the most senior, and Jason has just 1 month in the business. And we can also filter by next year in service, and this helps, for example, for giving the um, allowance bonus when the employee hit a certain milestone, or to invite for a new performance review, or for discussing about salarial increase, for example, for these two people. If we continue with the presentation, let's go to the reports. So if we look at the Leaves tab, here we can see that we have all the monthly entries for the month of July, where we see the name, the type of time of submitted, the interval between which dates the entry has been submitted, the number of working days, and the status of that specific request. And for example, if I'm not the approver for George, as an administrator, I can approve on behalf. So, okay, approved on behalf of George. Yes. And the entry is now approved, so at the end of the month I will have one less thing to check with that particular manager. This report can be downloaded in Excel format. You can again filter for a particular team which you want the information, and if needed you can also filter for a specific approval. You can go through time for the next month to see what's happening, and everything it's added automatically and arranged automatically so that it's super nice and easy to follow. The annual situation, it's again an aggregation of the information regarding the vacation allowances for each employee. So if we go back to my dashboard, we see that I have here 42 days and 15 available. If we go to reports, we have a 42 days allowance for myself and 15 available until the end of the year. However, the tool offers us the possibility to see if there are any kind of like errors or inconsistencies or discrepancy. And we can see here like my amount is quite high compared to the other employees. This is a demo account, so that's okay. But maybe in the case of George, this zero shouldn't be here. The system also allows us to plan for the summer or winter vacations. So if we see that there are employees which have 0 days booked, we might question why is that, and eventually send an email to those people to remind them that okay, we want them to use their vacations. um, we can spot also absentees, so why this person has booked all his days out of 34 days per year. He has already booked everything and we're just at the middle of the year. So that's a nice functionality. We can spot also if someone is abusing sick leave or unpaid. For example, if we move to the previous year, we see that Levy here has used 2/3 of the year for some kind of sabbatical, and we have also information about work from home. Yeah. So we see all the days which have been used, and even some employees were overbooking the days. The system allows us to limit or to enforce the allowances not to be overbooked, but about this I will show you a little bit later on. In the attendance tab, we have practically an automated, you know, attendance report, which it's a mix between a monthly report and a calendar. And why I say this is because employees are working Monday to Friday, usually 8 hours per day. In a weekend, it's 0 hours, and in a public holidays, it's 0 hours. And if they book some vacation days, like I have for myself, 8 days, 7 and 8 of July, 11, 19, and 20, and so on. It's 8 days. If I book a half day, I see it with 4 hours. And if, for example, I book work from home, like in the case of myself 3 days, it will be with 8 over here from 12 to 14 of July. So this it's easy to follow. 3 days also for Julie, 2 days of sick leave for Josh, and so on. So again, this report can be downloaded in Excel format, can be filtered, and it's super nice to have, especially for payroll purposes. Lastly, the general situation, it's more managerial report. So for the month of July, we have 31 calendaristic days, but because of the weekends and public holidays, there are about 20 or 21 depending on the geography. And like in my case, from this 20 days, I had 8 days of vacation and 1 day of sick leave. So 20 minus 9 equals 11 days. Theoretically, I was in the office working, and yes. So if we summarize these numbers, the number of business days in the company and the number of actually work days by the employee, we have some differences. And if these differences are bigger than, let's say, 40%, then we might do some kind of audit why this had happened like that. Support section, it's practically some guides and usual questions which we get most often. So you can find the answers over here super fast, or you can submit a ticket to us, and for sure we again come back to you with the right answer. We're coming pretty much towards the end, but we still have this like main functionalities. Let's start with the leave types. Here we can create as many types of leaves as we want. We can add new ones, we can reorder them, and for each uh, leave type we have two tabs. The, the first one is allowances, where we see per each employee what are their allowances. So what you see here with black is the default allowance. Here there has nothing been modified, but what it's with blue, we have a lot of modifications, and we can continue to add more days, or remove some if we made an error, and there the employee information will be super easily available. In the settings tab, we can customize the name. So if we want to change vacation to PTO, we can do that. Um, the number of days per year might be 10 days. If we allow for half day requests or not, uh, registering retroactively, leave notice, so how many days in advance we want the employees to be able to book time off, so we can change this to 0 or 2 weeks. Enforced allowance, so if this is enabled, employees will not be able to book more days than they have. Comment required makes the comment mandatory. Automatic approval, so it will not go any longer through a manager. Ask for replacement, we add the replacement field um, on the dashboard. So let's just do a short demo over here. You see we have the replacement field back over there, and yes. Adjust allowance on employment. So what I told you already, when we add someone into the system, it will prorate the remaining allowance based on the general number of days per year and the employment date. Is this a working request type? So the difference between work from home and vacation, work from home it's 8 hours, vacation it's 0. Show earned allowance, this is practically a new functionality which we have into the system, and will add the earned amount. So for example, in the case of Alex Kos, uh, since we're right now towards the end of July, beginning of August, it's already 7 months, so more than a half. So the employee from 1st of January until let's say beginning of August has earned 14 days, and we have this information for all the employees prorated in a very nice way. Of course, there are some companies which need this information, and we provide it easily. So this is pretty much it with the leave types. Integration with Slack, but also integration with Google, Office, and again Slack for each employee. We have also some calendar feeds which can be added in Google for having all the absences added automatically, for my personal absences, for my team absences, for my office absences, for the company absences, and birthdays at company level, and work anniversaries at company level. This is very important. Even today, I had someone telling to me that this will save a lot of time because they will not have to add manually these entries into the calendar. It will be automatically generated and updated with every new employees which will join the company. Coming back to the company, we have the settings tab, some basic information about, the company details and the com contact information plus working days and working hours for the new hires. Here we can change the name format, and then we have the permissions tab. Permission tab is very important because here we have the rules and visibility settings for employees. So will the employees be able to see the entire team? Let's say you have a company with 100 employees. Will they see all 100 employees, or only the people which are in their office or in their team, or only themselves? And the same thing for managers. So managers are practically the people which get direct reports, and they will have access to the report section, and we want them to see everyone into the report section, only within their office, only within their team, or only themselves. So we can customize this. And if we want to create a better sense of um, you know privacy, we anonymize the leaf types, and all the color codes which we have here and leaf types will practically disappear. Everything will be gray for employees and private, and everyone will know who it's off and when, but they will not know what type of time off is that. This is pretty much the permissions tab. The last tab which we have is the notifications, and here we can add very easily a new notification. However, I have here two examples. So let's say Julie is the person dealing with the paperwork for sick leaves. So I have created a request for notifications when sick leave entries are being submitted and approved by the managers for all the company employees or only for employees in a particular office, Julie gets a new notification. Then we have another example over here. Let's say George is the key manager, and every time the CEO, and every time the approvers, the managers, get their okay on any type of time off, George gets a new notification. So by default, every time the employee submits time off, the approver gets a notification. However, with this functionality, the CEO who doesn't have any kind of direct reports will receive emails regarding the requests which have been approved once again into the New York office. This is pretty much the company settings. Let's just summarize very shortly the My Account. Here we have the professional details. Every employee will see this, including the the details and who are the direct reports, the balance of time off, the integrations, and very easy like time zone, language, and date format settings. And with this, I'm pretty sure that we have um, covered a lot of ground. So we explain what is happening within the dashboard, how to use the calendar to plan your next vacations without disturbing continuity within the business, seeing exactly who else will be out and when, and approving requests, the employee directory with teams and offices and the HR reports. Then we have the leave of absence reports, which are very, very useful. Company settings with the leave types, automations, rules, and general review of the professional profile. I would also like to log in with um, an employee, and let's see Frank, who is a user, and he doesn't have any kind of direct reports. And when we log in with this employee, you see that the profile, it's much easier. It looks the same. It's the calendar, it's limited at the team level as we have set up into the permissions tab. Here I have the public holidays from Greece because this employee is associated to the office in Greece, but we can move it anywhere. And we have the same view with the balance of time of 19 days use minus 3, 19 days available for the year minus 3 equals 16 still available to be booked. And when the employee, selects one day or multiple days, he will get the same automation benefits which we highlighted into the admin account. The same company calendar and 365 days planner with all the sick leave and vacation entries, a perspective of everything which has been booked. Also, the employees can write to us, no problem, and general overview about what it's happening and how to get more done. And with this, I believe we're pretty much covered. And let's go back to the presentation to discuss about the remaining two elements, pricing and implementation steps. When it comes to pricing, we have three packages. The first package, it's free and it's for 9 users. The second package, it's pro and it's $1.35 per employee per month. And the third package comes with a discount of 17%, which means rather than paying 12 months, you pay only 10 months, you get 2 months for free, which costs 13.5 US dollars per employee per month. And if we look at this particular example of 40 employees, per month it will be 54 US dollars or 540 US dollars per year, which we believe it's a very reasonable amount for the amount of automations you get. Lastly, the implementation plan comes in 3 steps. Firstly, we do a discussion with you. We set up Zoom meeting in which we clarify what LeaveBoard can do for you, if it fits your needs, and if that is the case, we continue with configuring your account, onboarding your employees, configuring the allowances correctly, and then once you're super okay with this, we invite everyone to the system. There is a 14 days trial in which you can test every automation process workflow that the system offers. And then if you're fine, an online subscription, then there is, the successful collaboration and ongoing support if there is any kind of question. And with this, I would like to thank you so much, and I will see you on the next video. Have a good one.